we're going to finish this series. Oh, by the way, we're Cyborg Digital. This is Pierre here. I'm Kat, and this is Wayne. He is Cyborg Digital's logistics manager, our head media buyer / the engine, and I am the chief empowerment officer. We're gonna speak this session. I think we're gonna make one long video. We can cut it up because Wayne just made a joke saying 5-second videos are the best. Zander, our video guy, said 20 seconds, and it's the truth. Shorter videos do work better. But I think let's make a big video and then afterwards we split it up. Because what we're going to speak about now kind of all pertains to the same thing. In one of my short videos, I said 3 things that make an ad successful is budget, targeting, and then creative. So aka the amount of money you give to the platform, secondly, the targeting, the audience, and then the last thing, the creative, the actual ad. Obviously, these 3 things work as a normal mix, but it can also work, like Pierre said to me now beforehand, in a specific industry. Like, we kind of know which industries work and which don't. I mean, we've tested certain industries that didn't work at all. Because, I mean, if you're competing against somebody that spends 50,000 Rand on Google with their big brand every month, and you're a small guy trying to, I'm going to give a hint to who it is, sell cars and do the same thing, you might, for example, struggle. You need to come in with a different angle. So I think let's delve into first things first. Wayne, targeting. What do you think targeting, I'm not going to say targeting entails. We know with digital ads, it's demographic, interest, behaviors, custom audiences, lookalikes.
Even job titles.
Job titles in certain things like LinkedIn, but I mean, even on Facebook, wherever actually. But what would you say when it comes to your audience, if you're selling a product? Let's use something practical for today's video. We sell this. Okay, we sell this. Okay, this is a jewelry piece / leather armband, female. I'm not a big fan of rings and necklaces and stuff, so I like something like this. It's pretty, it's on my arm, right? We sell this. This is our company. Leather Go-Go. Now, I've used Go-Go before. Let's say, Leather Me Now. It's going to be a new online shop. Follow us.
Videos in there.
No, wrong video.
No whoops.
No whoops.
Let's call it no whoops.
No whoops. No whoops, the leather store. Sex always sells. Never forget that.
No.
But
you have another side business. Guess what it is?
No whoops. But yeah, this is what we sell. What would you say? Because you know me, opinion-based, I believe there is an opinion to start with who you think this would be. But I also believe you have to trust AI and actually discover who your client is over. Because reports that you do for clients, you discover over time who that client actually is, and then you adapt your target audience. But anyway, I can go on for hours. So the point is, who do you think? We sell this. Define the target audience. Go.
Okay. So firstly, I think as a company, and this is your product, you need to just be like, who do I want to sell this product? Who would buy this product? So then you're going to be thinking, okay, cool. So it's going to be somebody that is earning money. So you're going to be thinking, okay, ages here from, let's say, 20 to 35, okay? Because I think more of your older generation, they are more prone to your gold and your silver and more of your other jewelry, like you mentioned, like more of your bangles, your rings and things like that.
Leather appeals to a younger market.
Yeah, so leather appeals to a younger market. So you'll be looking at your younger market, and then you'll also be saying, like you said, okay, females. So then you're like, okay, cool. So our audience that we are going to target is a female audience between the ages of 20 to 35. But then there, like you mentioned, so then we can go then onto our Facebook ad and say, okay, cool, this is who we think is our audience. Then they're going to go and we're going to be getting feedback from Facebook through the analytics and everything that's going to be saying to us, okay, but we've received results. It's not from 20 to 35, but you have more of a direct success rate with clients at the ages between of 25 to 30.
Yeah.
So then you're going to be amending it so that your broad audience is getting smaller, but your target hit or your conversion, if I can put it that way, people that will actually buy this product will be more successful if you change your advert between those ages.
Yeah.
So I think that's why defining what your audience is and who your audience is very important, and your audience can change from time to time.
And I love the way that Wayne normally says something, because I would have now never thought that a younger audience, leather would appeal to a younger audience. I would have never thought that, right? And that's a cool way of actually saying that. So well done on that. To delve deeper is, I mean, you guys know demographics, interests, behaviors, custom audiences, lookalike audiences, blah, 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 blah. The cool thing about Facebook and all these platforms are you can actually put in an interest leather. You can say interest leather and then narrow stack that with something like engaged shoppers. Like, so.
And jewelry and leather.
And jewelry and
all
so
that
forth.
stuff, yeah.
So something, I'm going to ask you the same thing now, but something I just want to add that Wayne said that's very cool. You said something where you said the audience starts very broad and then you narrow it down. That is so true.
Yeah.
That is the truest thing I've discovered about marketing, especially digital marketing. You have to kind of like we normally, in the past, we've used strategies where we opt for 1 million reach as an example.
Yeah.
And then we say, okay, cool, out of that 1 million people, let's like filter that down. And obviously you don't want to make your audience too small where you end up paying like $80 a click, you know. But in the same sense, over time, as you can get the AI to do the learning itself, and that's why you and me with touch points and conversion ads and add to cart signals and blah 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 blah. The point is, if you have hands down the point, if you're an e-commerce store, right? Listen to me now. If you have enough money to figure out this recipe, right, and you're an e-commerce business, right, if you can drop 20K, right, in your spend to figure out who is going to buy that thing, right, digital advertising can hands down, in my opinion, figure it out for you.
Yeah,
because you can get the campaign out of learning. And once the campaign is out of learning, you can trust the AI.
Yeah.
And again, Cyborg, like that's why our company...
And it keeps on optimizing. And it keeps on optimizing. The more data you get in, the better results you get. So it's a constant influx, you know, flow in, and you give it data and it gives you better performance. Give it data and it gets you better performance.
On that point, because Wayne and I went on about it, I obviously took over a lot of this because I get very passionate about targeting. But tell people about custom and lookalike audiences. So for example, he now said leather, 25 to 30, they discover that's the people that kind of click. A female, right? Jewelry, wada, we narrow stacked this. We did tofu, mofu, bofu, every hottest strategy that's out there. Now we had people going to the site and we had 50 people clicking on add to cart, right? Tell us what custom audiences and lookalike audiences can do on Facebook ads, and not just Facebook ads, with Google, with YouTube. How can we refine that data even further? Because a lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people are still boosting posts, going like, I'm getting a lot of likes, but not sales. Like, get into that.
Firstly, I would say 50 is not enough. So you need more. So you need some patience, please. But
they want sales now. They don't have patience.
Do you want sales now for 2 days and then you struggle after that? Or do you want sales after a month and then you keep on having sales and sales and sales? And it keeps on. Most important thing is consistency with slight increase over time. That is what you want, because you don't want a business that runs out of. You don't want something that starts now and crashes over a month or 2 or 3 or 4. So it does take time. There's no way around it. With regards to custom audiences and lookalike, what's great about these audiences, and again maybe to almost go back to the billboard thing, is it is that where if somebody did engage with, let's say they did anything on your Facebook page. Let's say they did anything on your Facebook page, but we can also track specific actions they took on your Facebook page. Same with Instagram. We can retarget people who did anything, who liked a post or whatever, who visited your profile.
Watch X percentage. I mean, custom audiences or what? Let's hit it. Let's cross check. You can retarget certain email addresses, CSV audiences, right? You can do like I said, touch points on Facebook, X
Facebook
amount of
page, Facebook
video
platform,
percentage
yeah.
hits, people that opened the lead form but didn't submit it.
Yeah.
Instant experience, people that watched X percentage of time over instant
When
experience.
when it's an e-commerce store, you can actually there's a commerce manager part of Facebook as well, where you can set up an online store on Facebook itself. Within that, you can target people who did add to carts, who did checkouts, who maybe paid for something, who actually bought something. So there are many different layers again that you can go. You can play in here in the shallow water, but you can go so much deeper and get so much better results.
This ties into the ad creative now, but okay, before I go there, wait. Tell us about lookalikes first. Then we'll go there.
So lookalikes, what I like about lookalikes a lot is Facebook and Google, same type of thing in concept. They build a profile on each one of us. Every person that has ever used the platforms, they have a profile in their backend about you.
Yeah.
What stuff you like, what you do on Facebook. So it creates this whole profile about you, not the profile that you create where you put your photos on or whatever.
Yeah.
One at the back end. So they know who you are, and they might know somebody is maybe even better than themselves and their spouses and everybody in their family and so on. But we, on the other hand, if you step on the other side of that, where you can use it as a consumer, we can go and see that Wayne likes this and this and this. That is what his profile looks like. Now we can tell Facebook, go and find us more people that fit that same type of profile, same type of interest, because we know already that someone like Wayne, who has a similar profile, he usually converts to a sale. He usually goes online and purchases this or this or this thing. So that makes it very, very powerful. We can even go down to percentages. How accurate does this person have to match Wayne's profile? So it's a very, very powerful tool.
That is, that's quite cool. I'm going to think about that going further, the percentage of lookalike 1% to 10%. You might want to nurture certain audiences over certain times to actually do a certain thing more.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing. Yeah. Okay, I think we spoke a lot about targeting. We're going to make this video 20 minutes and then we're going to edit it. So there's going to be a big one because it's actually a big concept, and I think this is actually what we do explain in 20 minutes, which is awesome. Yeah. We spoke about targeting now. Budget. Budget is something, I mean, somebody has to pay Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, or whoever, right? You have to pay them to get that reach, to show your ads to all these wonderful plans that you're making. You have to check. You have to pay them, right? And this is something that I want to tell to anybody that's considering to advertise online. My methodology, and I think when I say I think it's like Cyborg in general. The thing about our agency is yes, you can advertise big in the beginning. I mean, like I said, if you have 20K to spend now and to figure out the math and the story and the whatever, do it, right? But, or let me say and. But another thing I want to say is that you need to work out cost per results. I think that's very negligent. Going and saying, listen, I'm going to give Facebook 10 grand and kom ons vir die beste, right? You have to go and say, okay, cool. I'm going to start, like I normally tell all my clients even watching this, they know. Start with 2,500 rand, right, in spend, right? Start with 2,500 grand, figure out your cost per sale, figure out that math. If you then say, okay, cool, to get 20 online sales cost me 2.5 plus my marketing agency's fee. You're normally hands down, guys. With Cyborg, for example, as an entry rate, I can tell you, you're looking at like 10. You start with 10K for 2 platforms, but that's like Facebook, Google, whatever you want. It's a mix. So that's what we're going for now. Like, do your pick your platform, basically. So let's say 20 sales cost you 10 grand, but now you're selling Ferraris. You know, that makes sense because your profit margins are high and so forth.
Of course.
The point is, you have to work out. I mean, some shops. I just want to say that hands down before I continue. We've scaled some shops from 20 to 30,000 rand a month to 140,000 rand a month with a 2.5K marketing budget and a 7.5K fee to their agency, where they get a copywriter, a media buyer, a logistics manager, accountant, a strategist. So here's your team of 6 people doing all this work for you, and I'm not your full-time employee. That's why you choose agencies. Just by the way, you choose agencies because like they're a service provider that provide you the service of marketing. Anyway, tangent. So budget, what I want to say is start slow, get your cost per result, work out return of investment, right? Check out the conversion, do the math first. And how do you do the math? You do it by audit, or you run test campaigns for a month or 2, and then you figure out the formula. So that's how I feel about budget. Last thing, I think we're going to shift the energy here. We spoke about budget, now we spoke about targeting. Let's speak about creative. Creative is industry fancy name for the ad. Wayne, ads, okay? What are the what ads do you remember the most in your entire life? What ads do you still remember till today? Like even from childhood?
Okay, so I think the one that just came to my mind is that I want to be a Simba Chippy.
Yeah.
Because it had a catchy phrase to it, you know, it gets stuck in your head. So basically what you're doing is that you're creating a vibe in your head where it's like it's irritating you, but you always remember this, you know. So you just like, okay, cool, when I go to the shop, you have the song and you're like, okay, cool, I got the craving, let me get a Simba Chippy, you know. Then another company that I think that's ads are brilliant for me is Nando's. They sometimes take a dog and they're not afraid to do it. They're not afraid to do it.
But it's always consistent.
It's like you said, it's consistency. So you know what to expect, and they get straight to the point. They're not gonna paint you this nice big flower. They're gonna come straight to you and say, okay, cool, there's the black dot, boom.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you straight, that's what it is. And I think if also remember back in the day, moving away from digital now, but an ad that drew my attention that actually created a lot of traction and conversation. Don't know if you guys have seen it on the N1 highway. I think it was MTN or Cell C. They had a billboard ad, but it was upside down. The whole billboard was upside down. So immediately you like, it draws your attention because like, okay, firstly, like, did the installers make a mistake? So you're creating a conversation. So now when you go to someone's braai or Gaier or somewhere, and then you just like there and you say like, did you guys see that ad, that billboard ad? The thing is upside down. Yeah. And you're creating a thing in your mind where you're going to remember it, and it creates a discussion. So there's a great form of a example of how brand awareness, like you went there and you're creating a brand awareness in a sense where the client is like, I remember Cell C, they ad, and then they are in your head. So when you want to go get a cell phone upgrade, you think, okay, but Cell C, let me go there.
Yeah.
This is in the back of your head.
I mean, so it's us 3 today, but we have other people on our team as well that will join these episodes soon. Shakara is our designer. We don't call her a designer, we actually call her a visual architect because that's what she does. She really is very good with getting a brand to sell. She's, in my opinion, one of the best designers I've worked with. And Elizabeth, she's from Bloemfontein. Hello, Elizabeth, if you're there. Elizabeth is one of the best strategists that I've met in a long time. Elizabeth has this way to go like, okay, cool, we're doing this one thing. You know, this is why we turn the billboard around. Yeah. You know, Elizabeth has a very good way of putting that out there. And again, other person, or 2 other people actually, Veronica is just the glue, but she also she has massive ideas when it comes to branding. She has taught me so many things about, Catherine, your ads are boring. Like, Catherine, you guys should talk. I mean, literally what we're doing today here is Veronica saying, like, you guys should talk about what you do. And sometimes it's confidence and stuff, but Veronica also has a way with ads to think out of the box. And then, I mean, obviously Bart, that teaches us all to be awesome. Bart is our internal skills facilitator. We believe as an agency that we have to learn constantly all the time. And Bart helps us do that. He helps us put out the time to once a week we study, because I mean that's how we stay ahead. But Bart actually had a session with us about 10 successful ads or 10 ads that were done in the past from famous companies. The one from Absolute Vodka, for example, that just had the Absolute Vodka bottle shape. That was interesting to me. But the reason why I'm mentioning these people, and also the reason why I'm mentioning them with the ad creative thing, something that I also feel passionate about is an ad will always stay an ad. An ad is an ad, right? I mean, you said Simba Chippy. I mean, what's an ad you remember?
The bicycle one with a I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
It was a guy riding a bicycle, and every time he was in traffic, and every time he would stop, he would put his hand on someone's car, and he was just keeping up with this one lady, and every time they stopped, he would put his hand on so he would stay on his bike, and then she got hurtful about that, and the last time she just went and he went on the floor.
What was the brand?
I can't remember.
Crazy.
Maybe it wasn't that effective, but it was really funny.
No, I mean that's the thing.
But I mean, even the beer adverts, the Budweiser stuff, silly stuff, all of that stuff. It doesn't really sometimes, like what you were saying now about Cell C, an upside down thing doesn't have anything to do with cell phones. But just because you remember the brand,
yes,
it stays there.
But I also think that Pechi, sorry, like as the chief empowerment officer of Cyborg, right? No, but I think you're minimizing something that's very true. We have to understand if we sell something, we're selling this to different personalities.
Yeah.
Not everybody remembers Simba Chippy.
No, I also remember.
But you understand? It's
Yes,
like you remembered that ad.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you have to understand there's various personalities and people need different ads because certain ads speak to them in that way.
Yes.
So if we sell, and I'm going to use this thing as an example, the today's session or this session was long, but I think it was a good one. We sell this, right? Okay, one ad could be, are you into leather products? Well, here's a leather product. Asking the question, right? The other one could be a young girl that's, she's 25, 26. She's like in a cafe holding this thing and it's more a lifestyle kind of shot, right? But somebody else, like you, for example, you're more of a functional kind of guy, right? Somebody, I can guarantee you, I mean, the reason why I got this thing is because I'm not a fan of rings as much. So it could be an ad where it's like the tanning getting hurtful with a car where you go like, do you not like rings? How about you try a bracelet? So I think it's important split testing different ads and creatives to see what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway, last thing I think I want to close off with is ads that I remember, and that's the title of this video, Ads We Remember, or the short snippet will do. But yeah, ads I remember is BIZZRRE, come to Bathroom Bazaar, like Simba Chippy. So Jingles is a thing. I mean,
I think you can learn a lot from music as well. Any catchy pop song that has a chorus that you can remember, there's a lot in there that you can actually extract to apply to marketing.
Hands down. Because I would, for example, you said leather it. Was it leather it or leather belts or leather fit? What was the company's name again?
No, Whips.
Leather Whips, right? I would literally tag into that and like every time there's an item on a video, go
exactly.
Like
some kind of sound.
Leather whip, like sounds and jingles work. So I think that's something that we have in common. And then the other thing I wanted to say is with the ad staying an ad, it's not inside, it's on top. I mean, we all know that's Cremora, right? Yeah. So what I'm trying to say about advertising is, and I think that's something that our agency is learning so much as we're evolving, because I mean, we're getting smarter with this every day. That's why we're cyborgs. That's why we're trusting our own little AIs in our heads. Elon Musk sponsor us, Neuralink. But what I'm trying to say is I think as you evolve in advertising and as your ideas get better and as you apply certain things in certain industries, don't get me wrong, I'm reading a book now called Story Brand from Donald. Sometimes just saying I sell this thing is better than doing this massive thing about the thing, right? But in the same sense, I think realizing an ad stays an ad ads don't have to be serious. They can be funny, they can be quirky, they can be certain jingles in, they can solve a problem, they can focus on the 4 Ps, they can do whatever you like, but an ad stays an ad. If you have an ad that sucks, right, it sucks.
Yeah.
If I have this thing and it's just like, well, buy this thing, okay, why should another person buy it at their local jeweler? You should buy this thing from me because I do this and I stand, like, I think how can I think explaining why you do a certain thing, I think people buy from people.
Yeah.
And I think just pushing product down a consumer's throat, I think people are kind of over it.
Yeah,
I think
people are smarter than that.
People want a story, they want a gimmick, they want to be triggered in a certain emotion. So yeah, okay. 3 things that make an ad successful: budget, targeting, creative. Oh, something else I want to say about ads. Did you know, FYI, right, that ads on Facebook, Google, or whatever, PG spoke about it before, TikTok, whatever, have different placements? Like, I mean, we know this, right? But I mean, some people don't. Some people just think, okay, cool, I have a flyer and I'm going to boost it, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that. You can have a carousel showing all your services within your big company. So if you're an IT company doing, I don't know,
App development,
whatever the case might be, every card could be a service.
Yeah.
If you're in real estate, every house could be a carousel card. If you're in jewelry, different pieces of jewelry can be in that carousel.
Yeah.
Video ads is a format. Video ads like this. This is probably a content ad, but we're probably going to make an ad out of this content, right? You can retarget certain touch points. I mean, other formats, Wayne is hectic, like you guys now know. He loves TikTok. I mean, think about it. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think TikTok and Instagram stories, Facebook stories, but why do you think the format that goes like that is so successful from a theoretical point?
So I think if you have a portrait format, I think it's because everybody holds their phone in a portrait thing. I think it's about having your device comfortable in your hand, so you can be chilling, lying down, sitting, whatever way you are. It's comfortable for you just to swipe and go.
It's comfortable and it's bigger. More of the screen gets used for the ad. So, I mean, I hope this video can be, I hope we can do an edit now. Where it's but yeah, so just now your ads can also be on creative formats where versus on TV and billboard, it was always just the one thing. With digital, you can have different formats doing different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we shot a lot of episodes today. I think next time I'm going to be in Bloemfontein with Elizabeth and Shakara. And then we're going to speak about stuff that they like. We hope you enjoyed this.
Cool.
Goodbye.